What's going on, guys? BJJ Realtor here. Just want to come at you with another video, just talking a little bit about no-gi basics. And so I just want to talk about a few things that I was just thinking about whenever I got started in no-gi, a few things that I wish I would have known that I know now as I look back, and things that would have been really helpful whenever I started out on my no-gi journey. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is rash guards, right? And so I started no-gi right after I got my blue belt, because we do a lot of competitions with IBJJF, and in IBJJF there's no no-gi for white belts, and so as a blue belt you can start doing no-gi. And so I got my blue belt, and then shortly after that, NoGi Worlds was going to be coming up. And so since I was already doing the training for NoGi Worlds, I got my blue belt in September, did NoGi Worlds in December, and actually ended up winning. So that was when I won my first world championship, was at NoGi Worlds right after I got my blue belt. But the crazy thing is I didn't have a lot of rash guards, right? So let's talk about rash guards. Whenever you're in the gi, you work out, you train in the gi, at least at our school, you have to wear something underneath your gi. When you compete, you don't wear anything underneath the gi, but at our school, they require that you wear a rash guard underneath your gi. And so really you could wear anything under the gi because it's not out showing or anything like that. And so whenever I got started in no-gi, I actually did not know that they had ranked rash guards, right? And so I know it seems kind of crazy if you've been in Jiu Jitsu for a while, but for me, I was brand new to Jiu Jitsu martial arts. I didn't do martial arts growing up. And so in the gi, you have a belt. Everybody knows what belt color you are. But in no-gi, you actually need a rash guard that has the color of your belt on it somewhere. And so normally it's on the sleeves or it's on the base of the shirt in the front. And so you need to have that. For me, it was a blue belt. Now I'm a purple belt. So obviously you have purple on your rash guard. And IBJJF, I think you have to have at least 10% of your rank color on your rash guard. And so 10% of the rash guard needs to at least be whatever rank you are. And then the rest of it either has to be black or white. So you can do black, white, or your belt color is what you have to have on your rash guard. And so that's really important to me, especially for the beginners. I did not know that. We actually just had someone recently competing, and they didn't know they had to have, color on their rash guard. And if you're a brand new blue belt, sometimes you might not know that, especially if you haven't been doing a lot of no-gi. So remember, when you do no-gi, you need ranked rash guards. Make sure you have your rank color on your rash guard, especially if you're going to compete. That's IBJJF. I think in other federations, you might be able to wear other rash guards, but we mainly compete in IBJJF. So check the rules for your federation on the requirements for your rash guards. But you do need to have ranked rash guards whenever you're doing no-gi jiu-jitsu. Now, secondly, are the grips. The grips in no-gi are a little bit different, right? So when you're working out in the gi, obviously there's a lot of things to hold on to. There's a lot of security in just grabbing something, a lot of friction with the gi. But the main thing is learning what the new grips are going to be, because a lot of times we're doing collar and sleeve, which are usually a lot of the main grips that you have. I grab onto the belt a lot of times too, whenever I'm doing butterfly sweeps and those sorts of things. And so you do have to get accustomed to different grips. And when in the stand-up and the takedown, so there's a lot of, the collar tie is really the main grip that I think of whenever I started, that I just wasn't used to, and being that close to someone. So you have to get used to the distance as well. And so the grips is really, really big. And how you hold, instead of a sleeve grip, you actually have to hold on to the wrist. You can do a 2-on-1 with the wrist, or you can actually just hold 1-on-1 with the wrist, and then learning how to break those grips as well. And so that is really, really key, So for instance, if you have a wrist grip, boom, right here, in order to break this grip, you have to go towards the fingers here. In order to break it, boom, just like that. So grips are another thing that you really have to think about whenever you're doing no-gi. So be cognizant of your grips. The third thing here is transitions. Transitions in NoGi seem to be a lot quicker. At least that's my experience, because you're a lot more slippery. Like I said, the grips are different. There's less grips to hold on to. And so with less grips being at your access, now you're able to escape and move in different ways. And once you start getting sweaty, you know, your grips are also going to be less and less. You're not going to be able to hold on as well. So there's a different form of control in NoGi, and the transitions seem to be a lot quicker as well. The pace is just a little bit quicker in the transitions. And so that's one of the other things that I look at as well, is that transitioning in NoGi, there seem to be a lot more transitions, and the pace is just a lot quicker. And a lot of times you like get a position and you know where you can actually like kind of stop and breathe and wait. And so those positions are a little bit different, and the control is different. So those are the things that you're going to have to figure out as you start NoGi. And then lastly which everybody's talking about now, are leg attacks, right? There are a lot more leg attacks in NoGi than there are in the gi. IBJJF, you know, the only people that can attack the legs are brown belts and black belts, adult brown belt and black belts. So as a master, you don't have to worry about that. And as a lower belt, purple, blue, white, you don't have to worry about leg attacks as well. But I always think it's good for you to know how to get out of leg attacks. So you should be practicing those. You should be figuring out how to get out of leg attacks, how to attack leg attacks. It's just good to know for your all-around jiu-jitsu. But NoGi is getting more and more popular. I think everybody likes NoGi. It's really fun. It's exciting. There's a lot of attacks. You attack the upper body, lower body. You can do that in the gi as well, but you know, everybody starts to attack the lower body a little bit more in NoGi. And so it's coming up, getting it more and more. These are the things that I think you should know whenever you're first getting into NoGi. And so do it. It's fun. The other thing I love about NoGi is there's less equipment, right? Whenever I go to class, I literally just have my rash guard and my shorts. That's all I have to have. And it's not as hot, right? That's like the other plus. So those are the things for me. I'd love to hear from you. What are some of the things that you see that you know are the differences between gi and NoGi? Why are they important? Why not? Put them in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Os.